All right, so it's another great moment in time for us to be able to just share of our thoughts, our feelings, where we are in this stage of our experience here on the mother continent, specifically right here in Nairobi. I'm always actually anxious and excited to hear, what space you're in. And I know that we do things together. We're together all the time, but in your quiet moment, in the quietness of your mind and in your spirit, I want to know about those things. Those things I look forward to hearing from you. So I want to hear. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Well, this week what's been heavy on me has been the fear factor that we put on ourselves that keeps us from getting to the next level. It stops us from doing the things we want to do most in life.
You're talking about you and I?
It's just been, we've been dealing with heavy issues with the Gambia situation.
Okay. Yeah,
reading the comments and even doing self-reflecting. Not necessarily just for myself, but the strong women that I have met, or we have met on this journey together. And the thing is, we would take one situation and generalize it for everything. See, this is why I don't go. This is why I won't see. And it's mind-blowing because it stops us. My mom used to do that. She would put her obstacles in front of her, and I'd be like, Mom, why do you create obstacles that's not there? Why do you do that? How can you have joy always being afraid? And the thing that was triggering me was, watching different videos, and people are saying now Africa is dangerous. But we don't say that about where we're leaving, where we're coming from. The most danger that I have felt since I've been in Africa, period. Mosquitoes. They have put a hit out on me.
Yeah, they gangster with it.
They punk me. When I come out the door, I'm looking for them. I wear certain things because of them.
Gosh.
Mosquitoes got me punked.
Sure.
But I have yet to feel fear of someone trying to walk up on me. We're not always together. I walk these streets by myself a couple times a week. And I love it. And I'm not looking back. I hear footsteps. I'm still on alert, but I'm not jumping. I'm not feeling fear of being hit by a drive-by shooting. Because most of these countries over here don't even allow, they don't have a weapons law, or it's not allowed.
Right.
And to get a license to carry here is very, very hard. You need to have some real governmental connections to get a license to carry. But why do you even need it? No, we create these fears out of one situation or one occurrence. We learned about 6 women that have passed in the Gambia. But I've also learned how the Gambia has a huge expat community. It's not a tight-knit community, and that's something that we can work on. But there's a reason why expats love it there. There's a reason why people leave America and go to the Gambia. We haven't been there yet, so I don't know the reasons, but talking to our friends that's there, it's a very peaceful country. It's a beautiful country. The weather is wonderful. There's opportunities there. It's laid back. It's relaxed. But you do need to be on your best behavior. That's anywhere. Your mama taught you that.
Yeah, that's home training.
That's your home training. Be on your best behavior. Leave a lot of that hardcore gangster stuff that we have to do in the States. Leave it in the States, because you don't have to do it here. But don't allow situations. No, we never been promoting come to Africa. Africa's for you. Africa's the heaven. Africa's the place that you need to be. But we've always said Africa is a good choice. I stand by that. It's an amazing choice. Pick your country, study it, learn it. Maybe even learn the behaviors of the people. Maybe even learn, is this a place that you would be able to navigate and fit in comfortably? Because it's a wonderful choice. It is.
So, may I ask you a question? So, because I feel you. So, as it relates to the safety, security of women, specifically because we're dealing with the situation in the Gambia, however, just in general, Africa, right? I hear a lot of the commenting where the undertone of it is almost as if they're blaming not necessarily these particular women, but some instances these particular women. However, I'm beginning to see a lot more of kind of blaming black women from America in general based on the hardness of the exterior or whatever the case may be. My question is, do you think, based on your last statement, do you think that, because we understand why black women in America, black men have fallen short in a lot of cases, and then even going further back, black men were not able to be black men. But do you think that coming to Africa, any country, because in essence it is a patriarchal society and it has a certain order, do you think that as a black woman or black woman can now begin to kind of relax that a little bit so that it can, not for the sake of the man, but just for themselves, that they don't have to carry all of that they carry living in America or maybe the UK for that matter?
For me, I'm a different breed, I know that. I study people, I study who I'm dealing with so I can know how to deal with them. I don't think relaxing your exterior, because Africa is hard. And you still have to fight for your voice. In probably most countries, women have to fight for their voice. But knowing how to deal with who you're dealing with matters. I've made some mistakes in Rwanda. I'm ready to fight some folks, and they female and male.
Woo!
and they were surprised, and I'm like, you don't understand and you don't know who you're dealing with. But over here in Kenya, the men are more, I don't know, they're different. They're like, you can talk to them, they want to work with you. I don't feel that stigma of, I'm a man and you're a woman, so shut up. It's a little different in Mombasa when you're dealing with the men over there.
More Islamic
you got the Arab culture going on. But over here, we see men and women working in same positions. We see women in leadership. We see women officers. We see women handling things. I don't see that this is a man's role, women's role, and you stay in your place. I don't feel that energy over here. But just dealing with men in general, you got to know how to deal with them. You got to know. I've had one fundie that I'm talking to and I had to yell at to make him work. I have another one that I'm talking to that he's just so, he knows how to handle his business. He communicates. He shows me he's doing what he's supposed to do. So it's really, you just really need to be quiet and observe before you start going on like that.
Okay.
I don't think you have to be that woman. You don't have to be loud.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, like...
Yeah, most countries don't like loud women.
Right.
The U.S., you'll be labeled as ghetto.
Right.
If you got that big loud mouth and you're talking and crazy and the neck is going on, you're not going to get nothing accomplished with all that. So you definitely want to learn how to have good home training or just bring your best self. You don't have to bring all the men and women. Because I've seen some cocky brothers come over. I got this money. They brag about how much money they have, and They get treated a certain way because of your money. But you're lonely. You're not getting real friendships. And you could possibly get robbed. Just like if you were in the States bragging about all the dollars you got. But the dollars you have in the States is not, you're not rich. But until you bring it over here, now it goes to your mind. Oh, I got big bucks. You know, you're just flossing for no reason. I think if we just carry ourselves as normal people, you won't have those struggles, male or female. I cannot. I've always been told I had that. I'm hard on the brothers type of personality. Heard that all my life. Haven't heard it so much as my grown up 30, 40 years, but up until then I've heard it. But I don't feel like you have to be like that here. The men here, you just, they're workable. But you won't know it if you're coming with that dominant attitude.
Right.
You know, that aggressive attitude. You won't know it. Everything is Hakuna Matata if you let it be.
I like that. If you let it be.
If you let it be.
You gotta let it be.
If you come with the fire, most likely you're going to get that in return. One more point that I've noticed, the same energy, let's say we're driving in the city, and you know, when you're driving at home, you're driving in Atlanta, we got road rage, and someone cuts you off could actually cost them their life.
in America,
in
for
America,
sure.
It can cost you your life. Someone will pull out a gun and blow your head off because you cut them off.
It ain't funny, but it is real.
You come over here, not necessarily in Kenya, but I've been seeing some crazy driving here. I ain't gonna lie. But you see people, not here, in Rwanda, they would pull up on the sidewalk trying to cut you off. You seen it here?
I've seen it here.
Blow your mind away.
But not as bad, though. Not nearly.
Just to cut you off, just to be one car ahead of them. They're gonna cut you. And I'm like, man, if this was the state, even when we first got here, I had so much anger. Like, I want to open the door. I want to grab them by their throat. How they do that? You know, you had all that energy that you, and they're like, Hakuna Matata, baby. You're going to the same place. No worries. The drivers don't even get mad. They be looking like, and they'll look at you like, you see that? And I'm like, you not mad? Beat the horn. Why you didn't beat the horn? And they just laugh. Crazy Americans. We always want to fight. Year 3, I'm learning. You don't gotta be like that. Just sit in the back and cuss to yourself. Like, I don't believe this. This is some mess. Why y'all do this? But you don't have to have that energy with you. It's a waste of energy. And it's not going to give you a good outcome with it.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. That's really good stuff. You know, very enlightening and insightful in the sense of, as you know, the perspective of a woman dealing with living in a totally different cultural society. So that's very insightful, very enlightening.
So, you know, how do you think, if there has been any change at all, that this journey to Africa, how has it changed your life or impacted your life in any way?
So it's interesting that you asked that particular question, because the space that I've been in is probably the best space that I've been in a long time. And I want to say on the surface, I can attribute that with now being in Nairobi, right? I wouldn't say altogether, but I will say on the surface, being in Nairobi really has brought me full circle. Like, when we embarked on this journey to come to Africa, and I was excited, you definitely were excited, but there was a moment in time as we were preparing mentally that I felt that there was something that was kind of like tugging at me, right? It was something that I needed to either know or do. I wasn't sure until I just sat for a moment and I just listened, right? I listened. And I've said this before, but it's not until now in this space that I'm in that I come to the full realization of this understanding. And what that was is that knowing that we were coming to Africa, what was put in my spirit was that, okay, listen, You're coming to Africa, but you're not coming necessarily searching for anything in the way of a handout of sorts. You're coming to a table that exists, but you're coming to the table bringing something. So your identity is not to be in question. I know who I am, or as I was listening, you know who you are. And based on who you know who you are, when you go, now you have to learn how to bridge of who you know who you to be with the society that you're entering into, right? So being and having come to Africa at the time that we came, I'm still building on that, but not really feeling it yet. Because I'm still searching, I'm still looking, I'm still trying to get this sense of belonging, I'm still trying to get this sense of feeling of being home. And had not had that until I actually arrived here in Nairobi, right? And I think that it's a familiar piece that I had before leaving, but didn't really appreciate. But at the same time, it's a new piece that I have acquired now being here in Nairobi, and I think that comes because of a greater understanding, right? So that peace and that understanding is, no matter where we are, no matter where we go, no matter where we choose to live out the remains and the existence of our life, choosing Africa in its journey and coming here is not a journey to a particular geographical location. It's a journey back to self. Because ultimately, I believe, speaking for myself and maybe for both of us, and also possibly speaking for those of us within the diaspora who are looking to come back to Africa, what really, or wherever they may be looking to go outside of America or the UK or any Western or European society, ultimately, I believe the search and the desire and the want and the space to exist in is that which will give us peace. I think that's all really the core of it, no matter what our reasoning was, our circumstances that motivated us. I think the core of it is, I just want peace. I just want to live, I just want to be in peace. And so for me, in my understanding, what was working for me is that the ultimate peace is going to come and emanate from within self. Because as a student of scriptures, of revelation, both Bible and Quran, and definitely as a student of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, in my reading, I happened upon the words that he spoke as it relates to heaven. And heaven being the enjoyment of the peace of mind and contentment. But in particular, that peace of mind and contentment with the God of righteousness and a nation of righteous. So that component resonated with me. It's like, man, no matter where I am, as long as I have that kingdom of God within, understanding and knowing that I need to have a certain type of rulership and governance in my mind and in my thinking and in my spirit, no matter where I am, whether I'm in America, the Isles of the Pacific, Asia or Africa, it really doesn't matter. To a certain degree, if I walk with that peace, then my environment, for the most part, of which I can control, will be a peaceful environment. And now I can appreciate and enjoy all of the jewels, all of the beauties of wherever I might be. And it just so happened, I'm right here in Nairobi. And like I've said before, it's like I'm seeing Africa for the very, very, very first time, right?
And could it be that because Nairobi fosters peace or has the essence of peace with it that helps you to be more peaceful? Our situation and our condition here in Nairobi is more of a peaceful condition. You know, we're not working, we're not trying to do a business, we ain't, well, you know, it's not like we're fighting for stuff.
Right.
It's like you can just be.
think that may have something to do with it. I can't really honestly say why Nairobi is bringing me to this and
I
putting me in
can
this
say
space.
why.
Of course, the fact that we don't have to deal with. But it was the same in Rwanda. It was the same even in Mombasa. We didn't have to deal with the things that we have to deal with in America. But I think maybe what it is, now that I'm thinking about it, is that it gives me the familiarity of being specifically, say, in Atlanta. But hear me, not just on the surface. The opportunities and the possibilities. When I came to Atlanta as a young boy, I said it last week, as a young boy, I saw opportunity. And it gives me that. But now in Nairobi, it's that opportunity and possibility without those extras. And now that I'm older, now that I'm a little wiser, I like to think, and I'm hoping so, and now that we've already been through the roughness by trying to break the ceiling of a new existence coming to Africa. We've been through that. Now this is like, okay, this is what I've been wanting from the beginning, from day one. And so that's just my space. I'm just happy and I'm excited. And I guess if I had to, say, if someone were to ask me, what would you say? What would you encourage about, traveling abroad? I would say find your peace, man. Wherever your peace is, find it. Find and carry it with you.
And don't stop.
Until you
find it.
Until you find it. So if you come into Africa, you come into Nairobi, you're going to Rwanda, you're going to South Africa, you're going to Gambia, wherever you might, and guard that peace. Protect that peace. And walk in that peace. And then wherever you are, you're going to see the beauties of it in the people and what the people are offering, and it's gonna ignite. It's gonna really set the stage. So that's just me. That's my space. That's my space. So with that, thank you for sharing with me a bit of yourself and your inner self and your mental, and giving me some insight on some things as it relates to the safety factor and the security factor of women and all of that good stuff. And thank you for allowing me to be able to share with you my inner self, because you my peace too, right?
I try to be.
All right, so there we go. Thank you for tuning in. We are grateful. We appreciate you as always. Please, if you're a new viewer or you have not yet subscribed, please take the time, hit that subscribe button, and after you do that, go ahead and hit the like button, and after you do that, go ahead and share. All right? We appreciate you. Peace and blessings.